Okay then, let's talk about accountability and why everything is pretty much your fault. Everything you're going through, your current situation, where your life is at right now, it's all your fault. Now, when I say everything you're going through, I'm not talking about your 95-year-old grandmother's just passed away and you're really upset about it. I'm not talking about that, but where you're at within your life, if you're not where you want to be, if you feel like you're not living up to your potential or whatever, you gotta acknowledge and you gotta accept that it's literally all your fault, right? It's very easy for us to look outside of ourselves and start pointing blame and placing blame on other things, our environment, our parents, our friends, our boss. You understand? No matter what you place blame on or whatever you point to, it always circles back to you. Oh, the people I grew up with. I don't care if the people you grew up with are smoking crack every day. It don't matter. You decided to associate yourself with certain people, obviously for too long if you're not where you want to be. You should have removed yourself. Your current environment where you live, you should remove yourself. Your parents gave you certain advice. You took that advice. You understand? This is things that people, even very smart people, they analyze everything else and they analyze other people, but they forget to analyze themselves. It's all your fault. All of it will circle back to you anyway, right? It's kind of like, okay, and so if you're working a job and you feel like the money's not great, you knew what the money was before you even stepped foot in the door. When you applied for the job, you knew what the money was. Oh, my boss is not giving me a pay rise. Your boss has told you he's not giving you a pay rise, but still, you're still there. You're still there. Do you know why you're still there? Because you can place blame on him for your financial situation, right? So what it does, it takes the pressure off you because it's not your fault and you don't have to move forward because it's not your fault. So it's kind of like you'll find comfort in failing because it's not your fault. You can just place blame on him. He's not giving you the pay rise, even though he's told you he's not giving you that pay rise. Now it's your responsibility to make the next move, but instead you'd rather just blame this guy and stand still. And it's a tricky because it's so comfortable, but it's detrimental at the same time. You're not moving forward. Let's blame my friends. My friends ain't doing none of this, so it's their fault. No, it's fucking not their fault. They're not trying to pull you back. They're not thinking I've got to pull this guy back. You're staying around too long. If you're thinking something else and you feel like you're not in a position to have these discussions with these people, what the fuck you there? Just move. Do something. Go do it on your own. You gotta take responsibility. It always circles back to you, even on the smallest shit. Right? If you borrow your car to somebody and it comes back with a scratch on it, right? If you know that a scratch on your car is gonna make you furious, is gonna make your head explode, you shouldn't even have fucking borrowed the car anyway. You understand? Do you know what? That's my fault. I know how much that car means to me. I shouldn't even have. You understand? People can't even do that. My worst financial situation was 2020, right? I don't even need to say what was going on back then. Very easy to blame what was going on. Realistically, I was failing before 2020 even began. I was failing. Whatever I built weren't strong enough anyway. Because if it was, I would have been fine, because not everyone struggled during that time. A lot of people thrived, or a lot of people built something new and took advantage of the downtime or took advantage of what was going on. Instead, I just sat there because it weren't my fault. It was out of my control. So I found comfort. I'm failing, which is uncomfortable, but the comfort of it not being my fault, realistically, I should have took a step back and think, how can I benefit from this situation? But the comfortability of it not being my fault looked too appealing, when realistically, it's all your fault regardless of what's going on. You're in control of your life. No one's going to save you. No one's thinking about you. You're not important. You understand? It's all down to you, and every last little thing that makes you uncomfortable or every last little thing that makes you angry, it's your fault. It always circles back to you. There's nothing going on outside of you that is responsible for your living situation, for your comfortability, for your financial situation. If you're fat, it's your fault. If you get no women, it's your fault. If you're skinny, it's your fault. If you got social anxiety, it's your fault. If you're If you're not confident, it's your fault. If you can't speak to people, it's your fault. It's all your fault. All of it. And as soon as you accept that, you'll find peace and you can move forward, right? When you start blaming other people, it keeps you in one place. You don't need to move forward because it's not your fault anyway. As soon as you realize it's your fault and you start taking accountability, you can keep it moving. All right, think about it. Peace.